Do you know the Let's Show or Cadenza 12 with the $2,500 IM? Now, what if I tell you that you can almost get that sound for almost half the price? Good day guys, it's Practiphile, and yeah, today we're going to look at FiiO FX17. So it's not from FiiO, thank you so much Mark, Super Reviews, for sending this in. Yeah, it's actually together with the Meteor, no not the Meteor, the Rockies, and the Moondrop Meteor. So shout out to Mark for being so kind and sending me stuff so that I can try them. And yes, this one here, as I've said, grabs pretty close to the Cadenza 12, and I'll talk about that later. But for now, we're gonna talk about, well, I don't have the box, so just probably, I'm not sure if this is the cable that it came with. Probably yes, probably no. But as for the fit, I like the fit on these. It's very light. I don't like, no problems with this. Actually, I like the fit. I like the build. They are fingerprint magnets, but I don't think they are scratch. I'm not sure if they're scratch resistant, but yeah, the build is really solid though. Really solid. Now, this is priced around $1,500. Yeah, $1,499. Yep, and it features one dynamic driver, 4 BAs, and 8 ESDs. 8 ESDs. How did they fit this in? I don't know how they fit this in, but 1DD 4 BA flagship from FiiO with 8 ESDs. So yeah, that is for the specs here. Let's just go straight into the sound. And so the graph of the FX17 looks like that one. So for my ears, they look they're balanced in a way that they have enough mid-bass elevation to make the sound a little bit warmer in tonality. It's more of like balanced warm. You do see an elevation there in a mid-bass, but I think it's compensated with the ESDs in there and some treble elevation. Some people might not like this presentation because vocals, like female vocals, they don't sound as clean as they want it to be. They don't sound as open, but I'm pretty sure there are people who like this. Masha. Personally, I don't mind, although my target there has a tuck, but I don't mind some elevation there in the mid-bass. I don't mind the elevation there in the mid-bass because, you know, it's having to try different sound is good. So I like the tonality on this one here, although it's not really my target or preferred signature, but still for the tonality, I'm giving it 2.5. Moving on to the bass, again, it's nothing bad really. I just have a preference. But it's something that I like still. It has good presence, good impact. It really lets itself known, and it's very engaging. Yeah, to say the least, it's very engaging. Male vocals don't sound thin, instruments sound natural, so again, it's giving that a little bit of heft to male vocals to sound them more authoritative and natural. So for the bass, I'm giving it 2.5. For the mids, yeah, mids in here, even if there's an elevation there in the mid bass, but still, mids sound natural, instruments sound natural. I was trying it with my drums, the toms, everything sounded good, except for the cymbals. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, for my drums, like I tried playing it, they sound very engaging. There's good impact on the kick drum. So overall, the mids is 3. I like the mids in here, very natural sounding and very good realism. For the treble, again, 8 ESDs. Like, I'm a fan of ESDs if it's properly implemented, and I do think that the FX17 implemented it pretty good. It did remind me of the Cadenza 12 treble presentation, and it's not that, it's not even too forward. So, and I think the mid bass here really helps in taming or making the treble sound natural. So cymbals sound really, how do I explain it? It's almost like, the cymbal timbre is almost tangible. Like, it's very close to how a cymbal would sound like. I mean, even like the last tail end of that splash is amazing. So for the treble on this is 3, although there's a caveat here. Now, IMs, when they sound good and listening, they don't always sound good when you're using them on stage, or at least with the setup that I have. When I tried it with my drums, they were overly splashy. What I mean by that is probably it's the ESDs that overboosts the cymbal timbre, so it's not as good as, you know, when I'm playing drums. But with listening to music, they sound really okay. But it's just that, maybe it's just my electric drums, who knows? But I feel like using this on stage, it might be a little bit bright, but for music listening, it's perfectly fine. Oh! And lastly, so for the treble on that, it's 3. Lastly, for the technicalities, I did say that it closely resembles to the cadenza, and I even think that the cadenza's realism and resolution is actually very, very good. It's not different with the FiiO FX17. I do think that it has very good realism, very good stage proportion, very, very natural timbre. And again, for me, technicalities is not about details. It's not just about details. It's how real instruments and vocals sound, and how close is it to a real life sound. So for the technicalities on this, I'm giving it 3 because the separation is also very, very good. And so that's a total score of 14. And actually, this is an S ranker for me. I think it deserved an S rank because for the comparisons here, if I put there the cadenza 12, look at that. I mean, like, it looks smoother than the cadenza, except for that 8K peak in there, which is, yes, it's a coupler peak. But yeah, the cadenza 12 is priced like $2,500, I guess. So again, it's almost half the price in there with almost the same performance, you know? And I do think that this is a much better buy. I mean, it's still better if you audition both and see for yourself which one sounds better for you. For me though, I'd probably still lean a little bit on the cadenza 12 because a little bit of the cadenza 12, but just value-wise, value proposition, I think the FX17 is a better buy overall. Like, there's really, it's like paying $1,000 more does not justify the overall sound improvement from the FX17 to the cadenza 12. That's just my opinion. Next one is, I want to show you something here. So if you are coming from, let's say, I know it's not a good comparison, but it's the Truth Ear Pure right there. So if you like that tonality, for me, it was a little bit too warm. The Pure was a little bit too warm because again, you see there that it's just the balance of the Pure that really sets me off. I mean, I didn't mind the bass, but the overall tilt for me was too warm because it also didn't have a lot of elevation in the treble. But the FX17 fixes that. Like, if you're coming from the Pure, if you like how the Pure manages the bass and the mids and that warm tonality, and you want an upgrade and you have the cash, I think the FX17 is a good pick because it really, really is. It sounds like the end game if you're coming from the Truth Ear Pure, if that makes sense. So if you like this kind of like lifted mid bass and relaxed gain and relaxed treble, this FX17 can be for you. Similarly, if you look at volume S right there, soft ears volume S, you can see there that it follows the same curve from the bass to the mid bass and the mids. A little bit of elevation there in the gain, but then the volume S has that very, very downward trend there with the treble. So I do like the treble presentation of volume S. Don't get me wrong. Like, for me, the volume S treble is one of the best trebles, like under $1,000. It just sounds so natural, special in cymbals. And you know, like if you like this kind of tonality, then the FX17, the FiiO FX17 is a really good pick. Other stuff that I can compare it to, nothing really, because this kind of tonality, not a lot of companies tune to this kind of tonality wherein they lift the mid bass and a relaxed gain. Yeah, I think this can compete with IEM's price around its price range, but having reviewed the Rockies, the nice HAK Rockies, man, that thing is a beast. Like, I mean, it's bright tilted a little bit, so maybe it's not for you. If you're looking for a warm, top of the line set end game, then maybe the FiiO FX17 is for you. So I think that is it for my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, consider liking and subscribing. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye for now.